Thank you so much for coming to my channel. And today I'm going to be talking about those first disastrous years of mine in Forex. And hopefully you'll learn a little bit from it. Stay away from some of the things that I did that were a waste of time. And so hopefully you'll find this quite interesting and helpful. I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about why I went into it in the first place. And then secondly, I'm going to tell you about some of the things I did to actually prepare. And then thirdly, I'm going to talk to you about the results I got. And then I will leave you at the end with a little bit of advice. So please come with me, stay with me for approximately 30 minutes. And I'm sure it will be of immense value to you to hear some of the things that I did that you should stay away from. Okay, so the reason I got into it in the first place was because I was living in a country where there was real political turmoil. A new government had taken over, and they were kind of like a communist type government, and they were quite happy to destroy the economy and make existing business almost impossible to continue. Unless, of course, you were part of a very big, powerful company that was able to ride the storm. But I think most small companies were going through very, very serious times and made it almost impossible to make a living. So I was looking for something that really wasn't dependent on any one country and one economy, because I had seen how a change of government can completely wreak havoc on the existing business structures and economic structures in that country. And I wanted something that wasn't dependent on any one country. And I found out about trading Forex. It was quite new at the time in terms of being a private individual, being able to do it from home. And I thought, well, that sounds like a great idea. And of course, there was a lot of hype about it 10 years ago. And it's like most new things, there's always a lot of hype about it, a lot of wonderful things said. And of course, the banks and brokerages were getting involved in it. And of course, they wanted to promote it because it was great business for them as well. But anyway, I thought, well, it's really worth looking at it and giving it a try. So what I did is I started reading up a lot about it. I must have read about 15 books on it. And I must say I didn't find anything terribly helpful there. You buy these books and you hope to get something of value out of them, but there really wasn't much of value. But I did learn a little bit about the whole industry in doing that. So that was much help. Then I went onto the internet and I started doing some research about it. And this was about 10 years ago. So things have developed quite a lot since then. And I found a few online companies that were offering training on it. And of course, like any good company, they promoted their service and their training as something that would transform your life. And for a small amount of money, they would convert you into a millionaire overnight. Well, I can tell you, I spent some money on it. And the one thing I did learn is that it's very easy to create what looks like a good business on the internet when actually out of thin air, you know. And especially now, it's even easier to do that with AI, because AI is able to generate you a website and a business that looks fantastic, even give you glowing referrals that don't even exist, you know. But anyway, that's what I did. I went to one online company that promised to provide a template, if you can call it that, a strategy that was very simple, and that was easy to operate and that would work wonders. And well, I signed up for this thing, cost me a bit of money, and I went through their modules, and every module I went through, the the training became more and more complex, and it was anything but simple. You had to be like I don't know, a genius to figure out what this man was actually trying to say, and to make it work. It was almost impossible. But he had the most amazing referrals. So where he got them from, I don't know. I think he probably just created them himself, which is possible to do on the internet, you know. So, and this was something to do with, I think, sounded like a dog training company. And I really think it would have been better as a dog training company, because certainly didn't help me. So that was my first disastrous involvement in this business. Anyway, I was fairly committed to trying to make this work, and so I looked for another one, and it was pretty much the same story: glowing referrals, promises of you know of making it work for you, simple little strategies, and I went on to it, and I learned a little bit about how the whole thing works and what to do and what not to do. But making money? No, it didn't help me make money at all. Actually lose money. And so once again, glowing referrals. I don't know where he got them from, but one thing I learned is that a lot of the traditional philosophies and strategies to make it work actually just don't work. And so that was also something that just didn't work for me. More money down the drain. So you can imagine by now I'm a little bit skeptical about these online trading training sites that promise you the world and give you nothing in return. So I started looking at the free advice on YouTube, and I tried a lot of that free advice out. And once again, you know, it's more like clickbait, really. They tell you, oh, all you need is this little strategy, and then you're away. And well, I didn't find anything that was remotely helpful on all of these YouTube shorts. But what I did find is I found that if I started to combine different aspects of the advice, I was able to put something together on my own, which started to look a little bit more encouraging. Now, one of the things I was trying to do is I was trying to make sense of all these, what do you call it? All these indicators that are available out there, and they come with some of the trading platforms that you have to use to make it work. And the analysis tools, I mean, there's hundreds of them. And so I spent quite a lot of time trying to make these tools work, putting them in different combinations. And some people would say, no, you've got to use these ones. And other people would say, no, you've got to use these. And you've got to combine 3 or 4 of these so that your chart looks like a Christmas tree. And well, yeah, I must be honest, I didn't find any of them really helpful in a reliable way. Sometimes you make money and sometimes you lose. Well, the next thing I tried was I found a brokerage who was prepared to give free training, providing that you open a live account and put some money in their live account. So I thought, well, okay, I'll try that. Let me put some money in their account. I don't think it was much, probably $200 or something. And I went on their training course. Well, I'm not sure who designed that training course, but it was more like how to gamble and lose your money. I remember one of the people leading the class, he was saying, well, look, this often works, meaning, it doesn't always work. Now, I don't know how that works because I don't want to put my money into anything that sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. I'd rather go to the horse races, quite frankly, on a Wednesday afternoon and have some beer and watch the horse come in last, rather than just, do this training that they're giving you, which is more like gambling than anything else. So that was another disaster that I experienced. So you can imagine by now, I'm becoming a little bit dubious about the whole thing. But I could see that there was, in fact, a lot of money to be made if you could just find out how to do it successfully. One thing that amazed me is that all these brilliant people who come up with these brilliant technical analysis tools that look fantastic and just don't work. They're not reliable at all. And I think the main reason for that is that they are looking at the past performance. They're all based on what's happened up to now. But they don't show you what's going to happen in the future. And of course, this whole thing is about where is price going in the future, depending on really what kind of trading you do. If you're trading very short periods of time or you're trading over days. But the one thing you want to know is how do I tell where prices go in the future, whatever your future might be for your trading style. Well, the next approach I tried was to try these trading robots, which do it all for you. You have to buy one of these robots, or some of them are actually free, and you install them on your trading platform, and then hope for the best. And so I tried numerous ones out and didn't find any of them helpful. Some of them made money one day and lost you money the next. So yeah, I've tried virtually everything out. Technical analysis, trading robots, copy trading, you name it. And most of it I've found is more like gambling. However, by putting a whole lot of different philosophies and strategies together, I did eventually find something that worked. But it took a long, long time before I was able to do that. So, my friends, that's a little bit of a background. So that's a little bit of a background to my first disastrous years in this business. And however, I'm glad I stuck with it because there's a huge amount of money to be made in it if you know how to do it. And eventually I worked out how to do it. So in the next video, I want to show you a little bit about the kind of potential that exists and what you can do. And so I think you'll find that very helpful, very interesting, and very encouraging, because we're going into a time in the world economy where the advent of AI and ChatGPT and all the others are going to have a tremendously negative effect upon the jobs that are available, especially in the sort of entry white-collar jobs and middle management jobs that is going to be taken over to a large extent by AI agents. And I've been told this on good authority. It's not something I'm just making up myself, but I think it looks like it's going to become a bit of a crisis. So for you to have a way of making a living totally independent of a traditional job could become very, very important for you. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video, where I'm going to show you the kind of potential that exists in this business. So bye for now.